Chapter 1. When I was 6 years old, I saw an excellent picture in a book. It was a picture of a snake eating an animal. The book said, "These snakes do not bite when they eat animals. After, the snake does not need to eat for 6 months." I loved that book, so I read the book deeply. I drew a picture with a pencil. This is my first drawing. The big snake that ate a big elephant. I showed my drawing to the grown-ups, and I asked them, "Is this scary?" They said, "That is a hat. The hat is not scary." My drawing was not of a hat. My drawing was of the big snake after eating an elephant. But they didn't understand, so I drew another picture to show the elephant inside the snake. This was my drawing number 2. They could understand drawing number 2. But they said to me, "Stop painting, just do other things. History or geography is good for you." I felt unhappy about my drawing number 1 and number 2. So I gave up being a painter at the age of 6. It is hard for children to explain everything to the grown-ups. Finally, I am a pilot. I have flown to many cities in the world, and it is true that geography is very useful to me. I now know where China and Arizona are on the map. I met many great people. I got to know those people closely, but my opinion didn't change. I kept my drawing number 1. When I met a smart person, I showed my drawing number 1, but he or she would always say, "That is a hat." Then I never talked to that person about big snakes, or jungles, or stars. I would bring myself down to his level. So I talked about card games, and golf, and politics, and neckties to make him happy. Chapter 2. So I lived my life alone until I had an accident in the desert 6 years ago. Something was broken in my engine, and I was alone. No engineers and no passengers. It was a question of life or death for me. I had water only for a week. The first night, I went to sleep on the sand, 1,000 miles from a town. I was alone like a man who is on an ocean in a broken ship. I was awakened by a strange little voice at sunrise. "Draw me a sheep." What? Draw me a sheep. I jumped to my feet. I blinked my eyes hard. I looked carefully all around me, and I saw a small person who looked at me with great seriousness. Here you may see the best drawing that I was able to make to him. But my drawing is less lovely than its model. However, that is not my fault. The grown-ups broke my dream of being a painter when I was 6 years old, and I never learned to draw anything. Now I looked at this unexpected situation with wide eyes in surprise. Remember, I had crashed in the desert. Nevertheless, my little man did not seem to be lost in the desert, and he didn't seem to be afraid of tiredness or hunger or thirst or fear. Nothing about him gave me any hint of being a lost child in the desert. I said to him, "What are you doing here?" And he repeated very slowly, as if he was speaking of importance, "If you please, draw me a sheep." A strange mood overpowered me. Crazy as it might seem to me, I was still in the desert 1,000 miles from town. but I took out from my pocket a sheet of paper and my pen. But then I remembered that I studied geography, history, and grammar. So I told the little man, "I don't know how to draw." He answered me, "That doesn't matter. Draw me a sheep." But I had never drawn a sheep, so I drew for him a boa snake. It was of the boa snake from the outside, and I was surprised to hear, "No, no, I do not want an elephant inside a boa snake. Where I live, everything is very small. What I need is a sheep. Draw me a sheep." So then I made a drawing. But he said, "No, this sheep is already very sickly. Make me another." So I made another drawing. Then he said, "This is not a sheep. This is a male sheep." So then I did my drawing over once more. But it was rejected too, just like the others. By this time, my patience was run out because I was in a hurry to fix my engine. So I drew quickly, and I explained to him, "This is a box. The sheep is inside." I was surprised to see his face become bright. That is exactly the way I wanted it. Do you think that the sheep will eat lots of grass? Why? Because where I live, everything is very small. There will be enough grass for him, I said. It is a very small sheep. He looked at the drawing, not so small that, look, he has gone to sleep. Chapter 3. It took a long time to know where he came from. The little prince asked me so many questions. But he didn't seem to hear my questions. It was from words he told me by chance. Little by little, I got to know everything. For example, the first time he saw my airplane, he asked me, "What is that thing?" "That is not a thing. It flies. It is an airplane. It is my airplane." And I felt good to tell him that I could fly. He cried out, "Then what? You dropped down from the sky?" "Yes," I answered gently. "Oh, that is funny." Suddenly, the little prince began to laugh in a lovely way. That laughter made me unhappy. I wanted to be taken seriously. Then he added, "So you come from the sky too? Where is your planet?" At that moment, I caught a hint from his story. "Do you come from another planet?" But he did not reply. He looked up gently while looking at my plane. It is true that you could not have come from very far away. And he thought deeply for a long time. Then taking the drawing of the sheep out of his pocket, he looked deeply at his precious drawing. You can understand my interest in him. When he said to me, "Other planets," I tried to learn about this subject. "My little man, where do you come from? What do you mean, where I live? Where do you want to take your sheep?" After a time, he answered, "The box you have given me can be used for his house at night." "That's right. And if you are good, I will give you a string too, so you could tie him during the day on a fence." But the little prince was shocked. "Tie him? What a strange idea." "But if you don't tie him," I said, "he will go somewhere and get lost." My friend broke into another laugh. "But where do you think he would go?" "Anywhere." Then the little prince said, "That doesn't matter. My planet is so small." Chapter 4. So I had learned a second fact, that the little prince's planet was a little bit larger than a house. But that did not really surprise me much. And also, there are hundreds of small planets. Those planets are hard to see using a telescope. When a space scientist discovers a small planet, he does not give it a name, but only a number. I believe that the little prince came from a small planet named B612. This is a small planet discovered by a Turkish space scientist through a telescope. The space scientist had presented it to other scientists, but he was wearing Turkish clothes, so nobody would believe what he said. A Turkish absolute ruler made a law. His law was that everyone must wear European clothes. So in 1920, the space scientist gave his presentation again. He was in a suit, European dress, so everybody accepted his report. If I have told you these details about the small planet, it is because of the men and their ways. When you tell them that you have made a new friend, they never ask you, what does his voice sound like? What games does he love best? Instead, they ask you, how old is he? How many brothers has he? How much does he weigh? They think they have learned anything about him from numbers. If you said to the grown-ups, I saw a beautiful house made of red brick with flower pots in the windows, they could not get any idea of that house. You would have to say to them, I saw a house that cost $20,000. Then they would shout, oh, what a pretty house that is. If you might say to them, the fact that the little prince existed is that he was lovely and he was looking for a sheep, they would treat you like a child. But if you said to them, the planet he came from is B612, then they would believe it. They are like that, but you shouldn't blame them. Children should always show great patience to them. I should have liked to begin this story as a fairy tale. I should have liked to say, once upon a time, there was a little prince who lived on a planet and wanted a sheep. To those who understand life, that would have given more truth to my story. I don't want anyone to read my book lightly. 6 years have already passed since my friend went away with his sheep. I try to make sure that I shall not forget him. To forget a friend is sad, and if I forget him, I may become like the grown-ups who love figures. That is why I have bought a box of paints and some pencils. It's hard to start drawing again at my age. I've not made any pictures except the boa snake since I was 6. I shall surely try to make pictures as true as possible, but I am not at all sure of success. I make some errors too, in the little prince's height. In one place he is too tall, and in another too short. So I draw step by step as best I can, and I hope it will look normal. I shall make mistakes on important details, but that is something that will not be my fault. My friend never explained anything to me. He thought that I was like himself, but I'm not. I can't see sheep through the box. Maybe I'm a little like the grown-ups. Chapter 5. As each day passed, I would learn something about the little prince's planet. The information would come very slowly. It was then that I heard on the third day about the problem of the baobabs. Once again, I thanked the sheep. For the little prince asked me quickly, "Is it true that sheep eat little bushes?" "Yes, that is true." "Ah, I am glad." I did not understand why it was so important that sheep should eat little bushes, but the little prince added, "Then they also eat baobabs?" I pointed out to the little prince that baobabs were not little bushes, and even if he took away all the elephants, they would not eat a single baobab. The idea of all the elephants made the little prince laugh. "We would have to put them one on top of another," he said. But he made a wise comment. "Before they grow so big, the baobabs start out by being little." "That is correct," I said. "But why do you want the sheep to eat the little baobabs?" He answered me directly, Seriously?" And I had to make a great mental effort to solve this problem without any help. There were, on the planet where the little prince lived, good seeds from good plants and bad seeds from bad plants. But seeds are hidden. They sleep deep in the earth, then the little seed will stretch itself and begin to push charming little leaves upward to the sun. But when it's a bad plant, it should be destroyed as soon as possible. Now there were some bad seeds on the little prince's planet, and these were the seeds of the baobab. The planet ground was filled with them. Baobab is a plant that you will never be able to remove if you know it's too late. It drills through the planets with its roots. And if the planet is too small, the baobabs are too many. They split it into pieces. "It is a question of making a habit," the little prince said to me later. "When you finished your own toilet in the morning, then it is time to think about your planet. When they can be identified from the rose bushes, you must pull up regularly all the baobabs. Baobabs and rose bushes look similar in their earliest youth. It is very boring work, but very easy." And one day he said to me, "You should draw for children where you live, so they can see exactly how all this is. The baobab problem should not delay until another day. That always means a disaster. I knew a planet that a lazy man lived on. He ignored 3 little bushes. So I have made a drawing of that planet. I don't like to talk like a moral person, but there are too few people who know the dangers of baobabs. So I am making an exception this one time. Children, I say clearly, watch out for the baobabs. I have worked so hard over this drawing. My friends, it is to warn people of hidden dangers. The lesson in my drawing is worth it. Perhaps you will ask me, why aren't other drawings as good as this baobab? The answer is simple. I have tried, but I couldn't make it. When I made the drawing in the baobabs, I was very focused on drawing it because of its importance. Chapter 6. O little prince, bit by bit, I came to understand the secrets of your sad little life. For a long time, I have found your only fun is looking at the sunset. On the fourth day, I learned that new detail when you said to me, I really love sunsets. Let's go look at the sunset. But we must wait, I said. Wait for what? For the sunset. At first, you seemed to be surprised. Then you laughed to yourself and said to me, I think that I am at home. Everybody knows that when it is noon in the United States, it is sunset in France. If you could fly to France in 1 minute, you can see the sunset. But for the little prince, it is easy to see the sunset. He can see the sunset if he just moves his chair a few steps. One day, you said to me, I saw the sunset 44 times. And then, when I am so sad, I love to look at the sunset. Were you so sad at that time? I asked. But the little prince didn't answer. Chapter 7. On the fifth day, the secret of the little prince's life was shown to me again. Suddenly, he asked me after long and silent thought about his problem. If a sheep eats little bushes, does it eat flowers too? A sheep eats anything it finds, I answered. Even flowers that have thorns? Yes, even flowers that have thorns. Then the thorns, what use are they? I did not know. At that moment, I was very busy trying to fix my engine. I was very worried because my engine was seriously damaged, and I had so little drinking water left. The thorns, what use are they? The little prince asked again. At that time, I was upset at that damaged bolt, and I answered immediately. The thorns are of no use at all. Oh! After a silence, the little prince suddenly said, I don't believe you. Flowers are weak creatures. They are pure. They believe that their thorns are powerful weapons. I did not answer. The little prince said to me again, And you actually believe that the flowers... Oh no, I cried. No, no, no. I don't believe anything. I answered you with the first thing that came into my head. Don't you see? I'm very busy with important work. He stared at me, shocked. Important work? At that moment, I was bending down over my plane, and my fingers were black with engine oil. You talk just like the grown-ups. That made me a little sorry, but he went on. You mix everything up together. You confuse everything. He was very angry. I know a red-faced gentleman who lives on a planet. He has never smelled a flower. He has never loved anyone. And all day he says over and over, just like you, I'm busy with important work, but he is not a man. He's a mushroom. A what? A mushroom. The little prince was now white with anger. For millions of years, flowers made thorns, but for millions of years, sheep ate flowers. And it is not important to try to understand why the flowers have the useless thorns. Doesn't the war with the sheep and the flowers matter? Is this not more important than a red-faced gentleman's numbers? I know one flower that is special in the world. The flower grows only on my planet. But one little sheep can destroy it in a bite some morning. Oh, you think that is not important? His face turned from white to red as he continued. If someone loves a flower that is found only on one star, it makes him happy just to look at the stars. He can say to himself, "Somewhere my flower is there." But if the sheep eats the flower, all his stars will be dark, and you think that is not important? He could not say more. He cried. The night had fallen. I put down my tools from my hands. My hammer, bolt, thirst, and death were all stupid things to worry about. There was a little prince who needed to be comforted by someone. I took him in my arms. I said to him, "The flower that you love is not in danger. I will draw you a mask for your sheep. I will draw you a fence to put around your flower. I did not know how I could touch him and go on hand in hand with him once more. It is a secret place of tears." Chapter 8. I learned to know this flower better. On the little prince's planet, the flowers were very simple. They needed only a small space. One morning, they would come out in the grass, and by night, they would be gone peacefully. But one day, a new flower had come up, and the little prince had watched very closely over this small growing plant. It was not like any other small sprouts on his planet. Maybe this was a new kind of baobab. The plant soon stopped growing and began to get ready to flower. The little prince felt at once that something amazing would appear. But the flower was not ready for her beauty in her flower room. She chose her colors with the highest care. She dressed slowly. She checked her petals one by one. It was only in the full shine of her beauty that she wished to appear. Oh, yes, she was a charming creature, and her amazing makeup continued for days and days. Then one morning, she suddenly showed herself, and she yawned and said, "Ah, I am hardly awake. Can you excuse me? My petals are still not perfect." But the little prince could not control his wonder. "Oh, how beautiful you are!" "Am I not?" the flower said, "and I was born at the same time as the sun." The little prince could guess that she was too proud. "I think it is time for breakfast," she added. "If you would think about my needs." And the little prince went to look for fresh water. She began very quickly to pain him with her self-love. The fact was that she was a little difficult to deal with. One day, when she was speaking of her 4 thorns, she said to the little prince, "Come on, tigers, I have 4 claws." "There are no tigers on my planet," the little prince said. "The tigers do not eat plants." "I am not a plant," the flower replied. "I'm sorry." "I am not at all afraid of tigers," she said, "but I'm afraid of wind. Do you have a screen for me?" "Afraid of wind? That is a bad luck for a plant," commented the little prince, and said to himself, "She is a very complex flower. At night, I want you to put me under a glass cup. It is very cold, in the place I came from." But she stopped speaking. She came from a seed, so she didn't know anything about any other words. She felt shy, so she coughed 2 or 3 times. "The screen? I was just going to look for it." Then she forced her cough a little more so that he would feel guilty. Even though the little prince loved the flower with all his heart, he soon came to doubt her. He had taken her words seriously, and it made him very unhappy. "I should not have listened to her," he said to me one day. "No one should listen to flowers. Simply look at them and smell them. The story of claws upset me so much. I should only have pitied her." And he continued, "The fact is that I did not know how to understand anything. I should have judged by acts, not by words. She gave off her smell and brightness to me. I should not have run away with her. Flowers are so changeable, but I was too young to know how to love her." Chapter 9. I believe that he left his planet by a group of wild birds. On the morning of his departure, he put his planet in a perfect order. He carefully cleaned out his active volcanoes. He used 2 active volcanoes for heating his breakfast. He also had 1 dead volcano, but he said, "Who knows?" So he cleaned out the dead volcano too. If they are cleaned out, volcanoes burn slowly and steadily. On our Earth, we are surely too small to clean out our volcanoes. That is why they bring trouble on us. The little prince also pulled up the last of baobabs. He believed that he would never want to return. But on this last morning, all these jobs seemed very precious to him. And when he watered the flower for the last time, he felt that he was very close to tears. "Goodbye," he said to the flower, but she didn't answer. "Goodbye," he said again. The flower coughed, but it was not because of a cold. "I have never been stupid," she said to him at last. "I ask your forgiveness, and be happy." He was surprised by this kindness. He stood there holding the glass cup, confused. He did not understand this sweetness. "Of course I love you," the flower said to him. "It is my fault that you have not known it at all. But you have been just as foolish as I am. Be happy. I don't need the glass cup anymore. But the wind? The cold is not too bad. The cool night air will do me good. I am a flower. But the animals? Well, I must accept 2 or 3 worms if I wish to see the butterflies. They are very beautiful. And if not the butterflies, who will come to me? You will be far away. And also, I am not at all afraid of the large animals. I have 4 thorns. Don't stay like this. Now just go." For she did not want him to see her crying. Chapter 10. He found himself near the small planets 325 to 330. He began visiting them. On the first planet, there was a king. He was seated on a royal chair. "Ah, here is a citizen," cried out the king when he saw the little prince coming. And the little prince asked himself, "How could he know me?" He did not know how the world was easy for kings. To them, all men were citizens. "Come close, so that I may see you better," said the king. The little prince looked everywhere to find a place to sit down, but the planet was filled with the king's dress, so he stayed standing straight. The little prince was tired, and he yawned. "It is not good manner to yawn in front of the king," he said to the little prince. "I order you to stop yawning." "I can't stop myself," replied the little prince. "I had a long trip, and I have had no sleep." The king said, "I order you to yawn. I have not seen anyone yawning for some years." "Yawn again." "That scares me. I can't yawn anymore," the little prince said in a low voice. "Hum, hum," replied the king. "Then I order you sometimes to yawn, and sometimes to," he said with a bit of anger, because his authority should be respected. He can't accept people who do not obey. He was an absolute king, but because he was a very good man, he made his orders understandable. For example, if I ordered a general to change himself into a bird, and if the general did not obey me, that would be my fault. "May I sit down?" the little prince asked shyly. "I order you to do so," the king answered. And he wonderfully gathered in the fold of his dress. But the little prince was wondering, what could this king really rule on this small planet? "Sire," he said to him, "may I ask you a question?" "I order you to ask me a question," the king said in a hurry. "Sire, over what do you rule?" "Over everything," simply answered the king. "Over everything?" The king pointed to his planet, the other planets, and all the stars. "Over all that?" asked the little prince. "Over all that," the king answered, for his rule was universal. "And the stars obey you?" "Surely they do," the king said. "They obey me instantly." That power was a wonder to the little prince. He would have been able to watch the sunset, not 44 times in a day, but 72 or even 100 or even 200 times without ever having to move his chair. And because he felt a bit sad as he remembered his little planet, he asked the king a favor with courage. "I should like to see a sunset. Could you order the sun to set?" "If I ordered a general to fly from one flower to another like a butterfly, and if the general did not do the order, who would be in the wrong?" the king asked. "The general or me?" "You," said the little prince surely. "Exactly. Each person should be required to do what each person can perform," the king went on. "First of all, accepted authority is based on reason. I have the power to order obedience because my orders are reasonable." "Then my sunset," the little prince reminded him. "You shall have your sunset. I shall commend it. But I shall wait until conditions are positive." "When is that?" asked the little prince. "Hum, hum." The king looked at the big journal. "Hum, hum. That will be about 20 minutes to 8. And you will see how well they obey me." The little prince was already beginning to be a little bored. "I have nothing more to do here," he said to the king, "so I shall go on my way again." "Do not go," said the king. "Do not go. I will make you a leader of government." "What kind of leader?" "Minister of law." "But there is nothing here to judge." "Who knows?" the king said to him. "I have not yet perfectly made a tour of my kingdom." "Oh, but I have looked already," said the little prince. He turned around to give one more look to the other side of the planet. There was nobody at all. "Then you should judge yourself," the king answered. "That is the most difficult thing of all. If you succeed in judging yourself, then you are already a wise man." "Yes," said the little prince, "but I can't judge myself anywhere." "Hum, hum," said the king. "There is an old rat on my planet. I hear him at night. You can judge this old rat. You can put him to death, but you will forgive him each time, because he is the only one we have." "I do not like to put anyone to death," replied the little prince. "And now I think I will go on my way." "No," said the king. But the little prince already finished getting ready for departure. "If you give me a reasonable order, I can follow your order. For example, to order me to be gone by the end of 1 minute." The king made no answer. The little prince waited a moment, then he went away. "I make you my messenger for other planets," the king called out. "The grown-ups are very strange," the little prince said to himself. Chapter 11. On the second planet lived a self-important man. Ah, I have a visitor who respects me," he cried out when he first saw the little prince coming. Self-important men always think that all other men respect him. "Good morning," said the little prince. "That is a strange hat you are wearing." "It is a hat of greeting," the self-important man replied. "It is to raise in welcome when people clap for me. But there is nobody to pass this way." "Yes," the little prince said. "Clap your hands," the self-important man said to him. The little prince clapped his hands. The self-important man raised his hat in a simple greeting. "This is more interesting than visiting the king," the little prince said to himself. And he began to clap his hands again. The self-important man again raised his hat in greeting. After 5 minutes, the little prince got tired of this game. "How can I make your hat come down?" he asked. But the self-important man did not hear him. "Do you really respect me?" he demanded of the little prince. "What does that mean, respect?" To respect means that you think me as the most handsome, the best dressed, and the richest on this planet. But you are the only man on your planet. Please admire me just the same." "I admire you," said the little prince. "But what about the things that interest you?" And the little prince went away. "The grown-ups are certainly very strange," he said to himself. Chapter 12. On the next planet lived a drunk. "What are you doing there?" he said to the drunk who sat down among many empty and full bottles. I am drinking, replied the drunk. Why are you drinking? Asked the little prince. So that I may forget, replied the drunk. Forget what? Asked the little prince. Forget that I am ashamed. The drunk dropped his head. Ashamed of what? The little prince wanted to help him. Ashamed of drinking. The drunk shut himself up after he said, The grown-ups are certainly very, very odd, he said to himself as he continued on his journey. Chapter 13. On the fourth planet lived a businessman. This man was so busy, he did not know of the little prince's arrival. Good morning, the little prince said to him. Your cigarette has gone out. 3 and 2 make 5. 5 and 7 make 12. 12 and 3 make 15. Good morning. 15 and 7 make 22. 22 and 6 make 28. I haven't time to light a cigarette again. 26 and 5 make 31. Phew! Then 501,222,731. 500 million what? Asked the little prince. Huh? Are you still there? 501 million. I can't stop. I am a person who is doing important work. I don't interest myself with nonsense. 2 and 5 make 7. 501 million what? Replied the little prince. The businessman raised his head. During the 54 years that I have lived on this planet, I have been disturbed only 3 times. The first time was when some crazy goose fell from I don't know where. He made the most terrible noise, and I made 4 mistakes in my work. The second time was disturbed by pain in my leg muscle. The third time is now. Well, 501 million. Millions of what? The little prince asked again. The businessman realized that this question would continue until he got the answer. Million of those little objects in the sky, he said. Flies? Oh no, little twinkle objects. Bees? Oh no, little golden objects. Ah, you mean the stars? Yes, that's it, the stars. And what do you do with 500 millions of stars? 501,622,731. I am concerned with important work. And what do you do with these stars? What do I do with them? Yes. Nothing. I own them. You own the stars? Yes. But I've already seen a king who kings do not own, they rule over. And what good does it do you to own the stars? It is good for making me rich. And what good does it do you to be rich? I can buy more stars. Nevertheless, he still had some more questions. How is it possible to own the stars? Who own these stars? The businessman replied angrily. I don't know. Nobody. Then they belong to me, because I was the first person to think of it. Is that all that is necessary? Certainly. When you find a diamond that belongs to nobody, it is yours. When you discover an island that belongs to nobody, it is yours. So I own the stars because nobody thought of owning them except me. Yes, that is true. So I own the stars because nobody thought of owning them except me. Yes, that is true, said the little prince. And what do you do with them? I manage them, replied the businessman. I count them and recount them. It is difficult. The little prince still was not satisfied. If I owned a silk scarf, he said, I could put it around my neck. If I owned a flower, I could pick that flower and take it away with me. But you cannot pick the stars up from heaven. No, but I can put them in the bank. What does that mean? That means that I write the number of my stars on a little paper, and then I put this paper in the bank. And that is all? That is enough, said the businessman. It is interesting, thought the little prince. It is quite poetic, but it is not important. The little prince had very different ideas from the grown-ups about important things. I own a flower, he said to the businessman, which I water every day. I own 3 volcanoes, which I clean out every week. It is good for my volcanoes and my flower that I own them. But you are no use for the stars. The businessman had nothing to say in answer, and the little prince went away. The grown-ups are certainly strange, he said to himself as he continued on his journey. Chapter 14. The 5th planet was very strange. It was the smallest of all. There was just enough space for a street lamp and a lamp lighter. The little prince could not understand why a street lamp was needed on such a small planet. He said to himself, maybe this man is crazy, but he's not as crazy as the king, the self-important man, the businessman, and the drunk, for he does normal work. When he lights his street lamp, he brings 1 more star to life. When he puts out his lamp, he sends the star to sleep. That is a beautiful job. It is beautiful, so it is truly useful. He respectfully greeted the lamplighter. Good morning. Why have you just put out your lamp? Those are the orders, replied the lamplighter. Good morning. What are the orders? The orders are that I put out my lamp, and he lighted his lamp again. But why have you just lighted it again? Those are my orders, replied the lamplighter. I do not understand, said the little prince. There is nothing to understand, said the lamplighter. Orders are orders. And he put out his lamp. Then he wiped his forehead with a handkerchief. I have a terrible job. In the old days, it was okay. I put the lamp out in the morning, and in the evening, I lighted it again. Other times, I was free. And then the orders changed? The orders didn't change, said the lamplighter. That is the disaster. From year to year, the planet has turned more speedily. Then what? Asked the little prince. Then the planet makes a turn every minute, and I don't have a single second for rest. Every 1 minute, I have to light my lamp and put it out. That is funny. A day continues for only 1 minute? It is not funny at all, said the lamplighter. While we have been talking together, a month has gone by. A month? Yes, a month. Good evening. And he lighted his lamp again. As the little prince watched him, he felt that he loved this lamplighter. He wanted to help his friend. You know, he said, I can help you a way you can rest whenever you want to. I always want rest, said the lamplighter. The little prince went on. Your planet is so small that 3 steps are enough. If you walk slowly, you will always have sunshine, so you don't need to light the street lamp. That doesn't help me, said the lamplighter. The one thing I want is to sleep. Then you're unlucky, said the little prince. I am unlucky, said the lamplighter, and he put out his lamp. That man would be hated by the king, by the drunk, by the businessman, said the little prince to himself. He's the only one of them who is not silly. Perhaps that is because he works for others. He said to himself again, that man is the only one who could be my friend. But his planet is too small. There is no room on it. He was sorry most of all to leave this planet, which could see 1,400 sunsets every day. Chapter 15. The 6th planet was much larger than the last one. There lived an old gentleman who wrote large books. Oh, look, here is an explorer, he cried out to the little prince. The little prince sat down on the table. He had already traveled so much. Where do you come from? The old gentleman said to him. What is that big book? Asked the little prince. What are you doing? I am an earth scientist, said the old gentleman. What is an earth scientist? Asked the little prince. An earth scientist is a scientist who knows the location of all the seas, rivers, towns, mountains. That is very interesting, said the little prince. This is a real job. And the little prince looked around at the planet. Your planet is very beautiful, he said. Does it have any oceans? I couldn't tell you, said the scientist. Ah, the little prince was disappointed. Does it have any mountains? I couldn't tell you that either, said the scientist. But you are an earth scientist. Exactly, not an explorer. An earth scientist doesn't go out to count the towns, the rivers, the mountains, the seas, and the oceans. The earth scientist does not leave his desk. The scientist went on. So he receives the explorers in his study. He asks them questions, and he notes down their travel stories, and if he finds an interesting story, he tests that explorer's moral character. Why is that? Because if an explorer told lies, the book of the earth science would be fake books. A drunk also, too. Why is that? Asked the little prince. Because drunks see double. They would say there were 2 mountains, but actually, there was only 1 mountain. I know someone. He would make a bad explorer, said the little prince. That is possible. Then when I meet a good explorer, I ask about his discovery. One goes to see it? No, that would be too difficult. But one asks the explorer for real data. For example, if the explorer discovers a large mountain, I demand large stones from that mountain. The earth scientist suddenly shouted, "But you come from far away. You are an explorer. Let me know about your planet." And having opened his big book, the scientist sharpened his pencil. He puts it down first in pencil, before in ink. "Well," said the scientist. "Oh, where I live," said the little prince. "It is all so small. I have 3 volcanoes. 2 volcanoes are active, and the other is not. And I also have a flower." "We do not write about flowers," said the scientist. "Why is that?" "Because they are short-lived," said the scientist. "What does that mean, short-lived?" "The books of earth science are the most important books of all books," said the scientist. "They never become old-fashioned. So we write of things that don't change." "But dead volcanoes may come to life again," the little prince stopped. "What does that mean, short-lived? Whether volcanoes are alive or not? It comes to the same thing for us," said the earth scientist. "But what does that mean, short-lived?" repeated the little prince. "It means which is quick to disappear. Is my flower short-lived?" "Certainly it is." "My flower is short-lived," the little prince said to himself, "and I have left her on my planet all alone." That was his first time to feel sorry, but he took courage once more. "What place do I visit now?" he asked. "The planet Earth," the scientist said, and the little prince went away, thinking of his flower. Chapter 16. The 7th planet was the Earth. Earth is a special planet. There are 111 kings, 7,000 Earth scientists, 900,000 businessmen, 7.5 million drunks, 311 million self-important men, that is to say, about 2 billion grown-ups. To give you an idea of the size of the Earth, I will tell you that the Earth needed 462,511 lamplighters for the street lamps. Seen from a little distance, the movements of this group would be like an opera ballet. First would be the lighting of the lamps of New Zealand and Australia. Next, the lamplighters of China and Siberia would enter in the dance. After that would be the turn of the lamps of Russia and the Indies, then those of Africa and Europe, then those of South America, then those of North America. And they would never make a mistake in entering on the stage. It would be amazing. And there were 2 men at the North Pole and the South Pole. Only these 2 would be busy twice a year. Chapter 17. When one wishes to play the wit, he sometimes go a little far from the truth. I was not fully honest with what I told you about the lamplighters. Men occupy a very small place on Earth. If the 2 billion people on its surface were all to stand upright, they could easily be put into one public square. The grown-ups will not believe you when you tell them that. They believe that they fill a great deal of space. You should advise them to do their own counting. But do not waste your time on this extra task. Just trust me. When the little prince arrived on the earth, he couldn't find any people. He was afraid he had come to the wrong planet. At that time, he saw a ring of gold moving in the sand. "Good evening," said the little prince. "Good evening," said the snake. "What is this planet?" asked the little prince. "This is the earth," the snake answered. "Ah, then there are no people on the earth." "This is the African desert. There are no people in the desert. The earth is large," said the snake. The little prince sat down on a stone and raised his eyes to the sky. "Why are the stars bright?" he asked. "Maybe it shows the way to find our own stars. Look at my planet. It is right there above us." "It is beautiful," the snake said. "What has brought you here?" "I have some trouble with a flower," said the little prince. "Ah," said the snake, and they were both silent. "Where are the men?" the little prince asked the snake again. "It is a little lonely in the desert." "It is also lonely among men," the snake said. The little prince looked at him for a long time. "You are a funny animal," he said. "You are so thin." "But I am so powerful," said the snake. The little prince smiled. "You are not very powerful. You haven't even any feet." "I can carry you to far distances," said the snake. He twisted himself around the little prince's foot. "If I touch someone, I can send him back to where he came from," the snake said again. "But you are pure and true, and you come from a star. You've moved me to pity. I can help you someday if you grow too homesick. I can—" "Oh, I understand you very well," said the little prince. "But why do you always speak in a puzzle?" "I can solve all puzzles," said the snake. Chapter 18. The little prince crossed the desert and met a flower. It was a flower with 3 petals. "Good morning," said the little prince. "Good morning," said the flower. "Where are the men?" the little prince asked. "Men?" she echoed. "I saw them several years ago, but never know where to find them. They have no roots, and that makes their life very difficult." "Goodbye," said the little prince. "Goodbye," said the flower. Chapter 19. After that, the little prince climbed a high mountain. The only mountains he had ever known were the 3 little volcanoes. "From the top of a mountain, I shall be able to see the whole planet with one look," he said to himself. But he saw nothing but the pointed top rocks. "Good morning," he said. "Good morning, good morning, good morning," answered the echo. "Who are you?" said the little prince. "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" answered the echo. "Be my friend. I am all alone," he said. "I am all alone, all alone, all alone." answered the echo. What a strange planet, he thought. It is really dry and pointed and tough. The people have no creativity. They repeat whatever I say to them. My flower, she always was the first to speak. Chapter 20. But after walking for a long time through the stand, the little prince came upon a road, and all roads led to the houses of men. Good morning, he said, standing before a garden. Good morning, said the roses. They all looked like the little prince's flower. Who are you? He asked quickly. We are roses, the roses said. And he was overcome with sadness because of what his flower said. She told him, I am the only one of my kind in all the world. But here were over 500 roses. She would be very much upset, he said to himself. If she should see that, she would pretend that she was dying, and I should pretend that I was nursing her back to life. If I did not do that, she would really allow herself to die. Then he went on. I thought that I was rich, with a unique flower, but what I had was a common rose and 3 volcanoes. That doesn't make me a very great prince. And he lay down in the grass and cried. Chapter 21. At that time, the fox came out. Good morning, said the fox. Good morning, the little prince said kindly. But when he turned around, he saw nothing. I'm right here, the voice said, under the apple tree. Who are you? You are very pretty, asked the little prince. I am a fox, the fox said. Come and play with me, suggested the little prince. I am so unhappy. I cannot play with you, the fox said. I am wild. Ah, sorry, said the little prince. But he added, what does that mean, wild? It means not tamed. You do not live here, said the fox. What are you looking for? I'm looking for men, said the little prince. What does that mean, tame? Men, said the fox. They have guns and they hunt. They also raise chickens. Are you looking for chickens? No, said the little prince. I'm looking for friends. What does that mean, tame? It means to make a relationship, said the fox. Make a relationship? Just that, said the fox. To me, you are a little boy who is just like 100,000 other little boys. To you, I am a fox, like 100,000 other foxes. But if you tame me, then we shall need each other. We will be unique to each other in all the world. I understand, said the little prince. There is a flower on my planet. I think that she has tamed me. It is possible. What? On another planet? Said the fox. Yes. Are there hunters on that planet? No. Ah, that is interesting. Are there chickens? No. Nothing is perfect, the fox said with disappointment. After a while, my life is very simple, the fox said. I hunt chickens, men hunt me, that's all. And as a result, I am a little bored. But if you tame me, it is like sunshine in my life. I shall know the sound of your footsteps. That will be like music. If I hear the sound of your feet, I will come out of my shelter. And look at the golden grain fields over there. I do not eat bread. Wheat is of no use to me. The wheat fields have nothing to say to me. But you have golden hair. If you tamed me, the grain would bring me back the thought of you. The fox looked at the little prince for a long time. Please, tame me, the fox said. I want to very much, but I don't have much time. I have friends to see and a great many things to understand. Men don't have time anymore to understand anything. They buy everything from shops, but there is no shop to sell friendships. So they don't have friends. If you want a friend, tame me, said the fox. What must I do to tame you? Asked the little prince. You must be patient, said the fox. First, you will sit down a little bit away from me. I shall look at you out of the side of my eye, and you will say nothing, but you will sit a little closer to me every day. The next day, the prince came back. It would have been better to come back at the same hour, said the fox. For example, if you come at 4 o'clock, then I shall begin to be happy at 3 o'clock. But if you come at first any time, I shall never know at what hour my heart is to be ready to greet you. That's why we have to make a special day. What is a special day? Asked the little prince. Those actions are often ignored, said the fox. A special day is that one day different from other days. For example, every Thursday, hunters dance with the village girls. So Thursday is a wonderful day for me. I can walk everywhere freely. But if the hunters danced at any time, every day would be like every other day. So the little prince tamed the fox. And when he has to go, "Ah," said the fox, "I shall cry." "It is your fault," said the prince. "I never wished you any kind of pain." "Yes, that's right," said the fox. "But now you are going to cry," said the little prince. "Yes, that's right," said the fox. "Then it was not good for you at all." "It has done me good," said the fox. "Go and look again at the roses. You will understand that your rose is unique in all the world." "Then come back to say goodbye to me, and I will give you a secret." The little prince went to the roses. "You are never like my rose," he said. "You are nothing now. No one has tamed you. You are roses like 100,000 other roses." And the roses were very much ashamed. "You are beautiful, but you are empty," he went on. "No one could die for you, but my rose is more important than all the hundreds of you other roses, because I have watered her, put her under the glass cup, covered her with a screen, killed the worms for her, and I've listened to everything that she said, because she is my rose." And he went back to meet the fox. "Goodbye," he said. "Goodbye," said the fox. "And now, here's my secret. What is important you can't be seen with the eye." "What is important can't be seen with the eye," the little prince repeated, so that he would be sure to remember. "You wasted time for your rose. That makes your rose so important." "I've wasted time for my rose," said the little prince. "You became responsible for your rose." "I am responsible for my rose," the little prince repeated so that he would be sure to remember. Chapter 22. "Good morning," said the little prince. "Good morning," said the railway switchman. "What do you do here?" the little prince asked. "I send off the trains to the right or the left," said the switchman, and a lighted express train rushed by with a loud sound like a thunder. "They're in a great hurry," said the little prince. "What are they looking for?" "Even the train driver doesn't know that," said the switchman. And a second lighted express rushed by. "Are they coming back already?" asked the little prince. "These are not the same ones," said the switchman. "It is an exchange." And they heard the loud sound of thunder. A third fully lighted express rushed by. "Are they following the first travelers?" asked the little prince. "They are following nothing at all," said the switchman. "They are asleep in there. Only the children play with the windows." "Only the children know what they are looking for," said the little prince. "They are lucky," the switchman said. Chapter 23. "Good morning," said the little prince. "Good morning," said the seller. This was a seller who sold capsules. If you eat one capsule a week, you will feel no need for water. "Why are you selling those?" asked the little prince. "Because they save time," said the seller. "You will save 53 minutes in every week by these capsules." "And what do I do with those 53 minutes?" "Anything you like." "If I had 53 minutes, I would walk to a spring of fresh water," said the little prince to himself. Chapter 24. It was now the 8th day since I had had my accident. I had listened to the story of the seller as I was drinking the last drop of my water. "Ah, your stories are very interesting," I said to the little prince. "But my plane is still not working. Also, I have no more water to drink. I would be happy if I could walk toward a spring of fresh water." "My friend the fox," the little prince said to me, "my dear little man, this is not the time to talk about the fox." "Why not?" "Because I am about to die of thirst." And he answered me, "Even if we are about to die, it is good to have a friend." "He doesn't understand how dangerous our situation is," I said to myself. "He has never been thirsty." But he looked at me slowly and answered my thoughts. "I am thirsty too. Let us look for a well." It is strange to look for a well in the desert, but we started walking. When we had walked for some hours, the darkness fell, and the stars began to come out. Thirst had made me a little hot. Then I suddenly remembered his last words. "So you are thirsty too?" I asked. But he did not reply to my question. He only said to me, "Water may also be good for that heart." I did not understand this answer, but I said nothing. He was tired. He sat down and he spoke again. "The stars are beautiful because of a flower that cannot be seen." I replied, "Yes, that's right." And I looked across the hills of sand without saying anything. "The desert is beautiful," the little prince said, and that was true. I have always loved the desert. "What makes the desert beautiful?" said the little prince. "A hidden well is making the desert beautiful." I was surprised by a sudden understanding of the desert. The desert is beautiful because there is water one cannot see. When I was a little boy, I lived in an old house, and there had been a story of hidden treasure under the house. This story cast magic on that house. Yes, I said to the little prince. The house, the stars, the desert, their beauty is something that can't be seen. I am glad, he said, that you agree with my fox. As the little prince fell asleep, I took him in my arms and began to walk once more. It seemed to me that I was carrying a treasure that would easily break. I looked at his forehead, his closed eyes, his hair in the moonlight, and I said to myself, what I see here is nothing but a shell. The most important thing can't be seen. The little prince smiled. I said to myself, what touches my heart about this little prince who is sleeping is his loyal heart for his flower. I felt that he was weak. I needed to protect him. He looked like he would go out like fire, and we found water in the morning. Chapter 25. Men go by express trains, said the little prince, but they don't know what they are looking for. So they are busy, but they're still in the same place. And he added, it is more trouble than it's worth. The well we found was different from the wells in the desert. This well was like a well in a village, but there was no village here, and I thought I must be dreaming. It is strange, I said to the little prince. Everything is ready for use. He laughed, touched the rope, and pulled the rope. Then there was a sound of an old wheel, like an old windmill, which hadn't moved for a long time. Do you hear? Said the little prince. We have wakened the well, and it is singing. I did not want him to tire himself. Leave this rope to me, I said. It is too heavy for you. I pulled the bucket slowly to the edge of the well. The song of the well was still in my ears, and I could see the sunlight in the moving water. I am thirsty for this water, said the little prince. Give me some of it to drink. And I understood what he had been looking for. He drank the water, and his eyes closed. It was as sweet as some festival food. This water was certainly different from other water. This water was born of the walk under the stars, the song of the well. It was good for the heart like a gift. When I was a little boy, the lights of the Christmas tree, the Christmas song, the smiling faces made the gifts of Christmas special. The men raise 5,000 roses in the garden, but they do not find in it what they are looking for. It could be found in one single rose or in a little water, said the little prince. Yes, that is true, I said. And the little prince added, but the eyes are useless. You must look with the heart. I had drunk the water. At sunrise, the sand is the color of honey, and that honey color was making me happy too. Then what brought me this sense of deep sadness? You must keep your promise, said the little prince as he sat down beside me. What promise? You know, a mask for my sheep. I am responsible for this flower. I took my drawings out of my pocket. The little prince looked them over and laughed as he said, Your baobabs, they look like a little cabbages. And your fox, his ears are too pointy, and they are too long. And he laughed again. You are not fair, little prince, I said. I do not know how to draw anything except boa snakes. Oh, that will be all right, he said. Children understand. So then, I made a pencil sketch of a mask, and when I gave it to him, I felt sad. "You have plans that I do not know about," I said. But he did not answer me. He said to me instead, "You know, tomorrow will be 1 year since I came to Earth." Then after a moment he went on, "I came down very near here," and his face turned red. And I don't know why I had a strange sense of sadness, but one question came to my mind. "So, when you first met me, were you on your way back to where you came from?" The little prince's face turned red again. And I added, "Perhaps it was because of the anniversary?" The little prince's face turned red once more. He never answered questions, but I knew the red face meant yes. "Ah," I said to him, "I'm a little scared." But he stopped me. "Now you must work. You must return to your plane. I'll be waiting for you here. Come back tomorrow evening." But I was not comfortable. Chapter 26. Beside the well, there was an old stone wall. When I came back from my work, I saw my little prince sitting on top of a wall from some distance away. And I heard him say, "This is not the exact place." Another voice must have answered him, for he replied to it, "Yes, yes, it is the right day, but this is not the place." I continued my walk to the wall. The little prince replied once again, "Exactly. You will see my footprint in the sand. You have nothing to do but wait for me there. I shall be there tonight." But I still saw nothing. After a moment, the little prince said again, "You have good poison? You are sure that it will not make my pain too long?" I stopped. My heart was broken, but I still did not understand. "Now go away," said the little prince. "I want to get down from the wall." I dropped my eyes to the foot of the wall. There was a yellow snake that takes just 30 seconds to bring your life to an end. And that snake was facing the little prince before me. I made a step back, and I was pulling my gun out of my pocket. But I made some noise, so the yellow snake disappeared in no hurry among the stones. I reached the wall and caught my little prince in my arms. His face was white as snow. "Why are you talking with snakes?" I had untied the golden scarf and had given him some water to drink. And now I did not ask him any more questions. He looked at me very seriously and put his arms around my neck. I felt his heart beating weakly. "I'm glad that you have fixed your plane," he said. "Now you can go back home." "How do you know that?" I was just coming to tell him that my work had been successful. He made no answer to my question, but he said, "I am also going back home today." Then sadly, it is very far away. It is much more difficult. I knew that something was happening. I was holding him close in my arms, but it seemed to me that he was falling into a deep place and I couldn't catch him. His look was very serious, like someone lost far away. "I have your sheep, and I have the sheep's box, and I have the mask." I waited for a long time. I could see that he was getting better little by little. "Dear little man," I said to him, "you are afraid." He was afraid, but he laughed lightly. "I shall be much more afraid this evening." Once again, I felt frozen. and I knew that I could not hear that laughter anymore. "Little man," I said, "I want to hear you laugh again." But he said to me, "Tonight, it will be a year. My star can be found right above the place where I dropped off." "Little man," I said, "tell me that it is only a bad dream." But he did not answer me. He said to me instead, "Important things cannot be seen. Yes, I know. It is just like a flower. If you love a flower that lives on a star, it is sweet to look at the sky at night. Yes, I know. It is just like water. Because of the well and the rope, what you gave me to drink was like music. You remember how good it was? Yes, I know. And at night you will look up at the stars. Everything of my star is so small that you can't find my star. But my star will just be one of the stars for you. And so you will love to watch all the stars in the heavens." He laughed again. "Ah, little prince, I love to hear that laughter. That is my present. It was like when we drank the water." "What are you trying to say?" "All men have the stars," he answered, "but they are not the same for different people. For travelers, the stars are guides. For others, stars are just little lights in the sky. For scientists, stars are problems. For my businessmen, stars are money. You will have the stars in a special way." "What are you trying to say?" "In one of the stars, I shall be living. In one of them, I shall be laughing. When you look at the sky at night, all the stars will be laughing. You will have stars that can laugh." And he laughed again. "You will always be my friend. You will want to laugh with me, and you will sometimes open your window for that joy. And your friends will be surprised to see you laughing at the sky. Then you will say to them, 'Yes, the stars always make me laugh.' And they will think you are crazy." And he laughed again. "I had given you a great number of little bells that knew how to laugh." And he laughed again. Then he quickly became serious. "Tonight, you know, do not come." "I shall not leave you," I said. "I shall look painful. I shall look a little dying. Do not come to see that. It is more trouble than it's worth. I shall not leave you." But he was worried. "The snake must not bite you. Snakes are unkind creatures. This one might bite you just for fun." "I shall not leave you." But a thought came to comfort him. It is true that they have no more poison for a second bite. That night, I did not see him go on his way. He got away from me without any noise. When I succeeded in catching up, he was walking along with a steady step. He said to me simply, "Ah, you are there," and he took me by the hand. "It was wrong of you to come. You will be hurt. I shall look as if I were dead, but that will be not true." I said nothing. "You know, it is too far. I cannot carry this body. It is too heavy." I said nothing. "But it will be like an old empty shell. There is nothing sad about old shells." I said nothing. He said once more, "You know, it will be very nice when I shall look at the stars. They will be wells with a sound." I said nothing. "That will be so interesting. You will have 500 million little bells, and I shall have 500 million springs of fresh water." And he too said nothing more, because he was crying. "Here it is," and he sat down because he was afraid. Then he said, "You know, my flower, I'm responsible for her. And she is so weak. She is so simple. She has 4 thorns to protect herself against all the world." I also sat down because I couldn't stand up any longer. That is all. He paused a little, then he got up. He took 1 step. He could not move. There was nothing but a flash of yellow close to his foot. He did not cry out. He fell as gently as a tree falls. There was not even any sound because of the sand. Chapter 27. It was 6 years ago. I have never yet told this story. My friends were glad to see me alive. I was sad, but I told them I am tired. Now my sadness is comforted a little. I know that he did go back to his planet because I did not find his body. And at night, I love to listen to the stars. It is like 500 million little bells. But there is one strange thing. When I drew the mask for the little prince, I forgot to draw the line for the sheep. He will never have been able to put the mask on the sheep. What is happening on his planet? Perhaps the sheep has eaten the flower? I say to myself, surely not. The little prince shuts his flower under her glass cup every night. Then the little bells laughed. But at another time I say to myself, what if he forgot the glass cup, or the sheep got out without any noise in the night, and then the little bells are changed to tears? Here is a great mystery for you and for me who love the little prince. The whole universe depends on whether the sheep ate the flower or not. Look up at the sky. Ask yourselves, is it yes or no? Has the sheep eaten the flower? And you will see how everything changes. And grown-ups will never understand that this is a matter of so much importance. This is the loveliest and saddest landscape in the world. I have drawn it again for you to remember. It is here that the little prince appeared on earth and disappeared. Be sure to look at it carefully, in case you travel someday to the African desert. Then, if a little man appears who has golden hair, you will know who he is. If this should happen, please let me know that he has come back.